There, you're added now. Oh, and of course, Natsuki's already sent a meme. Very funny, Natsuki.
Don't gotta tell me twice. So, Hallie, you a shitposter like me?
Yeah, pretty good one at that, too.
Sick! I knew you were worth something. Drop all that nice guy crap and let's go spam the GC with memes tonight.
No, you two are absolutely not doing that.
Come on, Squiddy, it'll be fun. I promise I won't post another offensive meme again.
How many times have you promised that only to go back on said promise?
Dunno. And don't care. Yeah, and Hallie?
I think I'll pass today. I don't want to give Monica a hard time.
Tja, what a normie.
I'm not even gonna bother with this today. Okay, let's get back on track before this goes anywhere else. Hallie, at this time we usually just do whatever we want until it's time for our activity.
Sounds good. What are you gonna do?
Gotta talk about some festival plans with Sayori. We have a rough plan in mind as to what we want to do.
Mind spilling early?
That's for the rest of you to find out tomorrow.
Well, I can't wait. I take a seat at a nearby desk and watch as Monica goes to call for Sayori's attention. And with that, everybody's now busy with their own things. I pull out my poem in my bag and look over it once more. This sucks. Like, seriously, what the hell was I thinking when writing this? I want to just erase it. But I'm definitely not gonna make something better in a time crunch. Whatever, it sucks. Great. No use trying to polish a turd. I sigh, letting my eyes wander around the room before setting on the wall in front of me. Guess whose dumbass conveniently forgot to bring something to read in a literature club? If this is how my first impression goes, then I just know Monica or Natsuki are going to have a mouthful. One might kick me out of the club, the other might leave their knuckle imprints on my face. If it all goes with it south from here, I blame my horrible memory for not bringing at least a manga to read.
Hallie!
Huh?
Oh good, you're there. Was thinking you got lost somewhere in your head. You've been staring at that wall intensely for a while now.
You two are already done with your conversation?
There wasn't really much to talk about. Mainly how we're even gonna attract a crowd here in the first place.
How'd you figure that out?
Food should do the trick. But that's beside the point. You do know what club you're in, right?
The literature club.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Why do you not have anything related to literature out? I thought you were gonna put effort in.
Well, I forgot.
It's your second day here and you already forgot to bring something to read. This won't be a common occurrence all year, right?
No, it won't, I promise. I just spent all my energy on my poem that I ended up crashing afterward. Sorry that my mind was on other things.
I get it. Writing's a very taxing process. You're forgiven, but if this happens again, you're out. Understand?
Right. Did you need anything else?
Well, no, but since you asked, I want to apologize for yesterday.
So we're still on about that. I thought you told me not to think about it.
I did, but I feel like I should still apologize for a bit of sudden hostility there. Just a stressful day.
That's all? I'm sure you can afford a bad day or two.
I've had way too many of those bad days lately, though. It's not my motto at all. I can't preach cooperation and teamwork if I act like that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Either way, I accept your apology.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. By the way, what's up with you and Natsuki? You two seem to not like each other very much.
I wouldn't go that far. I get on her case a lot because she's better than this. She knows how much I want us to be friends, and it's like her mission to tease us and call us names.
That doesn't sound too bad. Like, yeah, she's a bit snarky, but when you're with a bunch of friends, that tends to happen.
Really now? My other friends never do this sort of stuff.
Now, that sounds pretty hard to believe. I know Sayori's one hell of a tease at times. You do it all the time, too.
Unlike Natsuki, I never stoop low for some cheap shots. Teasing is fine, insulting others isn't.
Well, you see, Monica, Natsuki is shorter than you, so cheap shots are natural for her.
Natsuki knows this, but she doesn't care. That's why I get so annoyed with her.
This is all normal best friend stuff, though. Does Monica even have any actual friends, or is this how she presents herself? Man, Monica, I'm just gonna say this right now. If you had any clue as to what Sayori was like when we called, you wouldn't have made her the vice president at all. Hell, I'd argue she's just as bad as you say Natsuki is.
It's none of my business outside of the club. Be whatever you want out there, but when you're in here, I expect you all to be professional. You never know when you'll find somebody who has an actual interest in the club. Sorry for getting too ahead of myself there. I just want an environment where hostility doesn't exist and we can be together as one harmonic unit.
I feel like you're doing a pretty good job with that.
Not a good enough job if Natsuki's still like this. Whatever, I don't want to get any more moodier than I already am.
Yeah, whatever.
How about we spend today's free period together? You don't have anything to do anyway, so you don't have a reason to say no.
What's your suggestion?
Well, I went to the library yesterday and checked out a new poetry book for myself. It's from Emily Dickinson.
Oh, brother, old American poetry.
It's either do this or get out of the club. Like I said, Allie, you don't have anything to do, so you don't have a reason to say no. Which is it?
I'm just not that interested in it, okay?
From the looks of things, you aren't very or even interested in any literature.
Didn't you say that manga counted as a genre of literature? That's more my speed, not some 1800s poetry. It's always been a hassle for me.
Then why didn't you say that earlier? What is it with you and constantly shooting yourself in the foot?
I must have some form of obsession with it.
Tell me about it. But seriously, it's gonna be a hassle at first, given you're new and all. I've always been sort of interested in her work, given she's one of the most influential poets over there.
Am I gonna have to use my piss-poor English skills for this?
It's translated, so you're safe in that regard.
That helps a little. I guess we can spend the period together then.
Great. Let me find a spot.
It's only like 25 desks in there.
Let's sit over there.
She slides up against the wall and pats the empty spot next to her. I follow. Okay, but wouldn't chairs have been easier? Less moving around, so...
No, the chairs here really suck. I'd much rather have something I can lean my back fully against instead of half my back. And given I'm a sloucher... Yeah, no, I can barely handle the chairs as they are.
Ah, a fellow sloucher. Welcome to the club.
You have the same problem.
Yup, plus my ass hurts whenever I'm sitting on a hard surface. It's something I really want to fix, honestly.
Oh, same, but I fear that it's uncontrollable. I've tried to stop slouching, but it never ended up too well for me. A huge detriment for me, given how I have these stupid back problems. That's why I usually sit on the floor whenever I'm reading in here. Much easier to pay attention.
Fair enough. Back pain is like the bane of most people's existence. Mine included, of course.
I know that feeling. I wish it could go away, though.
And they sat there for a bit.
Hey, do you want to know a fun fact I learned?
What's this fact about?
It's related to that slouching problem we talked about earlier.
Okay, fire away then.
Unhealthy people are the most prone to regular back pains since their muscle joints never receive pressure.
Rather, they do receive pressure. Is that your way of saying you're unhealthy? I don't think that's a question I should be asking casually.
Oh, no. I usually try and exercise a healthy diet. But like I said, those unhealthy are far prone to it. It's pretty interesting to know about your body and what you could do to improve it. Like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, difficulties in burning weight, and poorer blood circulation are all consequences of an unhealthy lifestyle. Imagine the struggle of living like that. I don't really want to imagine it, and from what my dad always tells me, it seems like a pretty scary lifestyle. So with all of that in mind, I make sure to keep myself fully in check. I may have gone a bit ahead of myself there. Or a bit there. Gotten a bit too ahead of myself a bit there. That's it. Yeah. Like I said, though, it's interesting to learn about.
It's Definitely something, I'll give you that. I've actually seen a show about overweight people turning their life around by doing healthy diets and exercise. It's kind of crazy how just those two things can help in the long run.
I've seen that one too. Although I wouldn't say it's just those two things. Committing to such a lifestyle change is the driving factor behind all of this. Most people look for instant gratification, and if they don't receive it, they give up.
Can confirm I'm one of those guys.
I get it. It's that mindset that makes committing to things much harder. That's why you should always keep trying, no matter if it sucks or not. Eventually, it'll seem second nature, and you won't realize just how much progress you've made.
You make it sound so easy.
Oh, it's not, believe me. I've been through that same rut before. It sucks, but I've learned to overcome it. It's gonna take a while, but anybody can do it. Didn't you say you don't have much confidence that you can fit here?
Yeah.
Let's fix that together, shall we?
Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out a thick book. I gulp. Oh crap. That's a lot of pages. That must be like over 1,000.
Starting with this.
Do I have to read all of that?
Luckily, no, you don't have to. Unless you want to, that is.
I'm good.
We wouldn't even have the time to read this whole thing. But we do have the time to read one of my favorite poems from her.
As if she is recalling from pure muscle memory, she flips to a page in the book. She holds it out for me to see. Right. Let me grab the bar. Got the bar. It was not death, for I stood up. 5-0. It was not death, for I stood up, and all the dead lie down. It was not night, for all the bells put out their tongues for noon. It was not frost, for on my flesh I felt Sirocus crawl, nor fire, for just my marble feet could keep a chancel cool. And yet it tasted like them all. The figures I have seen, set orderly for burial, reminded me of mine, as if my life were shaven and fitted to a frame, and could not breathe without a key, and 'twas like midnight some. With everything that ticked has stopped, and space stares all around, for grisly frost's first autumn morns repeal the beating ground. But most like chaos stopless cool, without a chance or spar, or even a report of land to justify despair. Ah.
So, what do you think?
So, Brain Mind's telling me the best way I can tell her that I have absolutely no idea what I just read? It's very metaphorical, I see. Alright, fail on me then.
Well, that's one way of putting it. But seriously, I take it you're not used to poetry that much.
Well, damn, that's one way of being blunt. But, yeah, you're not wrong. It's not foreign to me, but I usually just half-ass these.
And that's exactly the issue. You're putting no effort into any of this. Literature shouldn't be treated as something you gloss over without any care in the world. It's an art form that many people have tried to perfect over the years. This club was made to analyze and deconstruct many different styles of writing and bring our own separate meanings to each of them. Poetry is a good example of this.
I'm not that interested in poetry, okay? It's cool and all, but I can't really understand most of it.
I'm starting to think Natsuki was right about you all along. You don't even care about literature.
Oh, you've gotta be. Not this again. Stop shooting yourself in the goddamn foot so much, Hallie. Monica, wait. No, it's not like that at all. It's just... Ugh, words. Come on, don't dry up on me right now. I'm not the smartest person. I don't know most of the shit that's thrown my way. All I do is coast through life and hope for the best.
That's boring, though. Like, yeah, sure, you can absolutely do that, but why? If you coast through life, then you'll just end up with a meaningless purpose. At that point, why even have or live? You gotta stand up and take some action. Opportunities don't present themselves if you're being reactive.
I just don't like being active, though. Like Monica, I don't have any talent. I'm boring as hell. At most, I'm a C-level student. Hell, I watch anime too. You can't get any more boring than that.
And I'm supposed to care about that because... It takes literally no talent to take action in your life. You just want to be lazy. But I can't blame you. You probably think this sort of stuff is too hard, right?
Yeah, I'm not good at any of this.
So what? I'm not asking for you to be good at this. All I ask is that you put effort in. It's absolutely okay to suck at first. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. After all, failures only make a stronger resolve. And this leads perfectly into what today's exercise will be.
Monka points a manicured nail at the second stanza.
You see this?
Well, I'm not blind, aren't I?
True. But let me ask you. What do you think it means? Look deeper into it. You might uncover a hidden meaning.
Alright. She was pointing out what was the second stanza? It was not death for I stood up. Wait. It was not frost on my flesh. I felt Sirocus crawl, nor fire for just my marble feet. Keep a chance to look cool. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not familiar with this poem at all. I'm thinking it's something to do being normal?
Normalcy? Interesting. I never got that vibe at all.
God damn it.
But I'm not gonna say your interpretation's wrong. Poetry usually doesn't have a right or wrong meaning. It's all up to whatever you feel. But let me ask you this. What made you come to that conclusion?
The frost and the fire. They cancel out, right?
So you're saying that because they cancel out, that should mean the author's normal. I get your point of view. How I see it, however, is an absence of emotion.
Kinda like apathy?
Kinda. It's a little bit deeper than that. How I came to this conclusion is that fire and frost are two different sides of the emotional spectrum. Think fire for anger and frost for sadness. Without both, you don't have the emotions that make up the feeling of depression. Now, of course, this is just my interpretation, so don't take it to heart. But that's what makes poetry very magical. Poems can either be straightforward with their messages, or they can be abstract and complex like physical expressions or feelings. And some poems might not even have a meaning at all. With this in mind, do you want to do some more analysis? We have about a few more minutes left until poem sharing, so we might as well use it.
If that's what you want, then alright.
And that wraps up our session for today. How do you feel, Allie?
My mind's nearly broken.
That's expected. It's gonna be like that at first. But that's why you gotta keep doing it until you get a knack for it. Which is why I want to ask, do you want to continue doing this tomorrow?
Sure, I guess.
Great to hear. But here's the catch, I'm not gonna come up to you. You'll have to come up to me. I want you to be more active in your life. Seek opportunities instead of waiting for them. Can you do that?
That's assuming I won't forget it by tomorrow.
Put it as a memo in your notes so you won't forget. Okay, everyone. You know what to do. Take your poems out and share them amongst one another. I look forward to seeing your work.
This is it. The moment I've been dreading. Better get myself ready for any upcoming swings to my confidence. Well, it's best if I get this over with before I end up causing an even bigger scene. I reluctantly pull my poem out of my bag.
Starting with me, aren't you?
I was given no choice in this. I guess so. Tell me how bad it is.